This is The Launch, episode 18 for April 15th, 2025. Streaming from the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty American West Coast, we greet you all a good morning, a good evening, or wherever your timeline may fall. Time-appropriate greetings, indeed, to one and all. This is The Launch, and my name is Chris.
And I'm Angela.
Hello, Angela. We have a good launch coming up, so just a few things we need everyone to know about before we get going. We'd love it if you call us live. We'll be taking your live calls after our Song of the Week. And if you catch us after the fact, you can always leave us a voicemail. Jot it down. Add it to your address book. It's The Launch at 774-462-5667. That's 774-462-5667. We'd love if you join us live. We're live on Tuesdays, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. UTC at jblive.tv or jblive.fm. And of course, our Mumble Room is going. You can join us in there. We have the Launch HQ chat room. All of it linked at weeklylaunch.rocks. Well, as we're settling into our 18th episode, you and I have been having a hell of a week.
Mm-hmm.
Hell of a week. Both of us, I think, are feeling a little bit of the burnout this week.
Mm-hmm.
And it sneaks up on you. I bet a lot of people start feeling this in the States around tax time. It's like one more thing. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling like you're probably okay? You got through the tax time.
I did.
At least that pressure's
a
gone
couple
with.
of weeks ago. However, what I owed almost sent my account negative. I didn't realize
stressful.
it was going through the same time as my car payment.
Oh.
Yeah, that freaked me out. I was like, wait, didn't I just get paid? How come I don't have money?
Oh, the government took it.
Yeah, right? Like, oh, there it is.
I mean, I think burnout is a topic that I have sort of touched on over the years as I feel like I'm going through phases of like just a lot of stuff. Does it materialize for you in like the sense of just this overwhelming sensation of being busy?
Too busy, and I end up paralyzed. Just
Yeah.
total paralysis. Like, I don't like to wait to the last minute on anything. I like to be on time. And I typically do, like, I have so much discipline that I'll still achieve it in time, but I feel horrible waiting that long as well. But I just sometimes cannot get motivated. And right now there's so many things. I thought it was primarily that California trip, because there were so many unknowns and it's just so big in a short time frame. And unfortunately, we did not need to make that trip because his mom passed away, unfortunately. But here I am, alive and well and paralyzed this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Despite so that's not on the table anymore. But I got that speeding ticket. I need to stop by the courthouse and turn that in. But that whole thing freaks me out. But I need to do it because you have to do it within 30 days. I can't mitigate it or ask for a deferral.
Yeah, it sucks
if
when
I
it's
don't.
tasks like that.
Yeah,
It sucks.
and it's very similar to taxes.
Yes.
Taxes are overwhelming. And then we have Linux Fest coming up. I'm
The kid's birthday
an
was this week.
organizer. Yeah, Dylan's 16th birthday,
Yeah.
and then my sister's getting married, and I haven't booked any of that.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know.
That's coming up.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do. I think we might just go to Vegas for the day. Yeah, just that Tuesday. I don't know.
It'd be a busy day, but
Yeah, and then in addition to that, Bella started trumpet lessons, and Abby's doing volleyball. 3 times, 2 practices and a game every week. I'm just dying.
yeah. Yeah, and then of course there's like all the regular stuff like job and kids getting sick.
Oh, yeah. This job thing. Oh, my gosh. I am combing through data that has there's corruption. And I'm trying to identify what is making it do that because basically I need to search all transcripts for any DEIB, which is diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging content and tag it as such. But I don't know, something about the Snowflake query or the data, I don't know. It's just not, it's just putting the transcript all through all the rows. And so I can't search it adequately to
Even
do this.
Yeah. You can't search it to identify it and then tag it.
Yeah, this is a huge priority project because it's tied to an executive order and it is so overwhelming. So
Just a little extra work you didn't need.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Wes is typing, and he's a programmer, right?
Yeah.
Or he's probably like, I have a code.
He's going to say, ask
Wes-
it. You know what he'll say is you take that output, throw it through an LLM, and ask it to reformat it.
Right.
I think that'd be the Wes move right there.
That's funny. Yeah, Wes, you can't solve everything. Like, I know you can, but
We need a Westbot AI.
right.
We just ask the
Yeah.
Westbot. Yeah, I wonder. So I'd like listeners to boost in and tell me what you do when you hit a burnout wall. And do you think burnout's a state of mind? Is it a matter of perspective shift? Is there tips and techniques you have to start getting ahead? Because, man, for me this week has been just basically treading water. And I can tell I'm falling behind on a lot of stuff that I normally wouldn't. This is now marks 1 week of being on the road, escaping the rats. And we did spend the weekend at an RV resort, which is nice, but also like $700. So can't do that very often, right?
Right.
And Sunday after LUP, we packed up, and Monday morning at 5 a.m., we left the RV resort. And I'm like, oh, I got to get gas because I'm running off generator sometimes, so I need to keep the gas topped off. So I pull into a gas station. And it's early, so it's pretty empty, other than there's 2 school buses there also filling up because they're getting ready to go pick up kids. And so it's funny because I've never seen school bus drivers in this setting where
Right.
they're just like chilling outside their bus, like listening to like some radio show or something, like before their day has started, really.
And you're like, here's my business card.
And I just, yeah, like, hey, you want to sell that bus? No. So I fill the rig up, which is ridiculously expensive because it's a 100-gallon tank. And get in the rig, and I'm ready to go, right? And I always have this process with the RV is when I stop it, I shut down all the accessories. So I turn off the air, turn off the headlights, I shut her down. And then when I go to start her up, I reverse that process. The first thing I do is I crank the starter position to start, which brings the steps in. Those are powered by the truck battery, the DC battery. So I let that come in because they're motorized and they take quite a bit of voltage to actually pull the steps in. And then everything else finishes, and then I crank the engine. I've always done it this way. Well, this time, because it was the morning and we were kind of in a rush because Hadia needed to be at our office by 6:30 a.m. So wherever we ended up, we needed to be there, and then we need to do a car shuffle and then get her to our office by 6:30 a.m. So I'm moving kind of quick, jump in the driver's seat, and I just crank it all the way to start without waiting for the steps to come in, which, has worked. I've done it occasionally. And what I get is the click, 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 click. And like,
You changed your pants.
I'm like, oh no. And Hadia and I have radios, so I message you, the RV isn't starting. Give me a couple minutes, that kind of thing. Try it again. Click, 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 click. Oh, crap. And then like, I have parallel thought processes. One of which is, okay, how do I troubleshoot this? Is this a starter issue? Is this an electrical issue? It's probably an electrical issue. It's probably a voltage issue. And then the second thought process is, oh my God, what does this mean if I'm stuck at a gas station? Is somebody going to come repair my RV at a gas station? Am I going to block this gas station for 4 or 5 hours? How are we getting Hadia to work? Am I going to go to the studio and leave the RV at a gas station? Am I going to stay here? What about my work? Like I'm thinking about all that.
Yeah.
While I'm also trying to think about, is this a voltage issue? What do I got to do to get the voltage up, right? Well, in my RV, they very thoughtfully have built this emergency start feature, and it connects my lithium house bank to my starter battery. And it provides some voltage from my lithium bank to my truck starter battery. And I hit that, I hold it, because you have to hold it because it keeps the contact open, or closed, whatever the case may be. And I crank the starter, click, 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 click. Well, it did a little better that time. I actually heard it try to turn. And I realize what's going on here is I've got an old battery, probably 8 years old, and it's died. But what I have is this thing called a battery tender that keeps it charged and kind of obscures the fact that my battery is dead because it keeps the voltage high.
Oh.
But it doesn't really have any depth. Like the voltage drops too low to actually start, and it's a big engine. It's a big starter. So I'm like, okay, so it shows good voltage, but it doesn't actually like retain that voltage once there's a draw. My battery's shot. And I'm like, so what I need to do is dump a lot of power into this battery, right? Like what I need is more power. So I start up the onboard generator, which is a 50 amp generator, fire that sucker up and get it going. And then I do the emergency house connect. So I'm just dumping the voltage that's going into the battery bank, into the starter battery. And the starter battery goes from like 11 volts and this is like a couple of minutes, to 12 volts. And then it gets to 13 volts. And right as it hits 13 volts, I turn the key, starts right up. And it starts running. I'm like, all right, I'm not touching it. Let's get out of here.
Jeez.
Then I message Dee on the radio, I got it started. She's like, oh, thank God.
Wow. Oh, wait, so are you replacing that battery?
Yeah. So now we're back at the shop.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, we're back at the shop today. And we're getting the battery. We're like, well, I guess we know where we're going. We're going straight to the shop. Mm-hmm. And they're going to, I think they've already done it today.
Nice.
But, that's chaos. And it's just so much cognitive overhead every day figuring out, okay, what are we going to do with this thing? Is it safe? What about all our cars? It's been a huge brain load. And so everything else is just like falling by. It's just causing massive burnout because it's like constant busyness just to find out where to just spend the night. Now, I think after we're done at the shop, we'll head out into the woods for a few days. We've got a few places for the next couple of days because I'm deploying if you've got a camper, if you've got a trailer, if you've got an RV, if you've got an SUV you can sleep in, you need to know about Harvest Host. Not a paid membership. In fact, I've been paying them for years. If anything, they should send me some money. So I'm going to put an affiliate link in the show notes. But Harvest Host is a membership program designed for RV travelers, and you get overnight stays at a network of locations in North America. And they're expanding, I think, other places, but right now it's just the U.S. and Canada.
Is it Airbnb, but for open lots?
Basically. Wineries, breweries, distilleries, museums, golf courses.
Oh, it's businesses.
Yeah. It's like it's a brilliant program. So instead of paying for a campsite, members of Harvest Host, because there is an annual membership to Harvest Host, but you don't pay like a traditional camp fee when you go to these places. You're encouraged to support the business by, like, if it's a winery, buy a wine. If it's a beer, brewery, buy a beer. If it's a, buy a round of golf, or if they sell a sandwich, buy a sandwich. Essentially, you're supporting a small business, and it's also by them putting themselves on Harvest Host, giving exposure to their business because it's bringing in customers.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite are the farms and the golf courses because they're really, like, the farms can be really fun. There's like an alpaca farm nearby.
Oh, cool.
And the alpaca are just walking all over the place, that's neat if you got kids. And then the Tulalip Golf Course is one of them, and they've got a restaurant. So
nice.
They got burgers and stuff. Some of the stuff can be pretty nice. As of 2025, Harvest Host has, and this number is always increasing, so this number is probably old now, but nearly 95 individual locations in North America, 9,500.
Okay, I was going to say.
Yeah, 9,500.
Was that in Washington or in Snohomish
in this
County?
Area, it's like, it's probably, there's probably 95 in Snohomish and King County alone.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And you could travel across the country just staying at Harvest House.
So is there an additional fee?
Yeah, so it's got
each time?
No,
it's included in the membership.
You get a yearly fee, and then you're just encouraged to, like, support the business. So
that's really cool.
We're going to stay on a farm, and they sell cookies, pies, and, like, steak.
Oh, your favorite.
Yeah, so I like all those things. Yeah. So it's like, well, we were going to get steak anyways. We might want a pie anyway. So, like, you end up spending $25 in food that you get to eat, and you get to stay there.
That you get to eat.
Right?
Oh, my goodness.
Right? I mean, it's great. So that's the upside. Like, we're trying to make the best of it and using Harvest Host to, like, pick some of our favorite locations. Like, I think we might do the alpaca farm this weekend if it works out.
Ooh.
Plus, it's kind of close to where Abby will be doing volleyball. So it kind of works out.
Nice.
For travel.
Yep.
So trying to be a little strategic about it, but, you start moving around a lot and things start happening, like your battery dies or a slide starts having issues. Like, everything's good now, knock on wood. Mm-hmm. But the more you are constantly using it like this, the higher that there is for failure and entropy. So I'd love to know what your tips are for burnout because hoo-wee. Boost in. Let us know your burnout tips, advice, tricks, or call in and share your thoughts. 774-462-5667. Well, Andrews, did you hear about Blue Origin's star-studded launch?
I did.
It was a big deal yesterday as we record. And CBS News covered it because, of course, their very own Gayle King, bestie of Oprah, went up into space, so they had to at least cover the event.
Liftoff. New Shepard has cleared the tower.
Our very own Gayle King back on solid ground this afternoon after being part of a historic flight to space this morning. That was the moment she blasted off on this 62-mile journey aboard Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket. Once in space, they experienced weightlessness. They got a whole new perspective on life down here.
Look at the moon! You guys, I have to tell you, look at the moon!
Look at the moon. On their way back, the parachutes opened to help slow the capsule's descent. And we also want to show you the moment the crew landed safely back on Earth in the West Texas desert. And everybody breathed a sigh of relief.
You hear them screaming in the background?
Being back on Earth.
Yeah, a couple of them get out and actually literally kiss the ground. So this is, I think, really to promote Blue Origin's space tourism business. So we don't have full ticket prices right now, but you can reserve a spot. You can reserve a seat for $150,000 US.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get on the flight fully. You just reserve the seat.
Yep. That's crazy.
I want, like, how much would you be willing to pay to go up for a 10-minute space flight? Well, it's 11 minutes in total, including the launch and coming back down. So it's a few minutes up in space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess, what is it? Wow, my math might be totally wrong, but if it's 62 miles and it's 6 minutes up, it's 100 miles per hour?
Probably around there, yeah.
Average?
Yeah.
Average is what it would be, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And then they, free floated?
For a few minutes, you get to free float, yeah.
And then how, because, like, I saw the rocket, but how does it, then it just falls?
Yeah, and then parachutes down.
I didn't see a parachute in the landing picture.
Yeah, they actually come. I saw it land, and they did it in the desert, and there's a lot of wind and air, and so it looks like this really rough landing, but it's really just kicking up a bunch of dirt. It's got a 2-stage parachute system. It's got one while it's higher up, and then after it's just falling for a while, it launches another one. And when you hear those gals screaming in the clip, that's after the last parachute deployed. They're like, "Oh my God, we're gonna live!"
So you actually saw it landing? Because I've only seen pictures and video after when they're trying to stage their exit.
I'll link it in the show notes. I went back and watched it from beginning to end for research for the show because there's a funny moment in the launch that I wanted to play for you.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, because they've made a big deal about this, and it is neat. This is the first time an all-female crew has gone to space in 60 years. But I think we're kind of overstating it to a degree of just how historic it is. And I was fine with it until the extremely self-congratulatory talk continued now for 2 days.
And I'm so proud of us. I really am proud of me because I never in a gazillion years thought I could do this. And I just saw a video of us walking up the, I don't want to call it plank, but what's the proper?
Katy Perry says that, she experienced love and learned how much love there is for herself and for her. She's what she said. But, and they talk about it. They talk about it like it was this, like they're astronauts. They're calling themselves astronauts now. And they talk about the training regime they went through. Well, they actually touch on that during the launch right before the rocket. And I don't know. It's just funny when you listen to the way they talk about it and then actually compare it to what's happened, there's a bit of a delta.
Transition to onboard hydraulic pumps.
And
Cue
this right
Star
here
Trek
is the
sounds.
moment that they've been training for. 2 days, becoming a crew, becoming a team.
After you go through an experience like this, it's more than a team. It's almost like a family. You are so tight to go through something as intense
Executing
as this.
aft fin built-in test.
So you hear it there. They trained for 2 days. So they talk about all the training. A couple of them opted to do additional training on their own. But they trained for 2 days, and I looked up the training. The training includes how to fasten your seatbelt.
Okay.
The training includes how to talk back to the base. And then they also coordinated how they would enter and leave before and after taking off and returning. And then they covered some emergency procedures and things like that. But we're talking 2 days, total flight time of 11 minutes from launch to landing. It's neat.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's cool. And I'm glad they're doing it because I think it's pushing this forward.
Mm-hmm.
Is it historic? Right? What some people are pointing out is that we also just had a couple of astronauts that were stranded up in space for like 280 days.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hell of a story.
Yeah.
They get back and it's like, all right, thanks for rescuing us. And they get like 2 interviews and then we move on. That's like a real heroism story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know how these things, why some things get covered, why some things don't.
Another angle is for this, or an importance is encouraging girls to enter STEM activities.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. There is aspects to it that I think are definitely, positive. That's why I kind of wish it wasn't as hollow as it was. Like, while they're up there, they're just taking selfies and stuff like that. It was kind of cringe.
It was very cringe. Yeah, I was going to say interesting, but you know
cringe.
what? It was cringe. It was super cringe.
That's the problem. It's like they kind of wrecked it.
Yeah.
It felt like Bezos was
production.
Yeah, and like Bezos let his lady go hire like a custom designer for the outfits, so they were like tailor-made blue jumpsuits that.
I did
they look
like.
Good. They look good.
But I was actually really surprised that they didn't have any kind of
helmet
apparatus.
The whole thing's pressurized because they.
Oh, I know. I'm sure.
They go up 62 miles. They hang for a bit and then they fall back down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they'd be goners if they open that hatch because they don't have any protection.
Was there any footage of the launch from the inside?
I don't think. Not that I've seen.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Because, obviously they had cameras in this pod. Or
they had cameras and there was GoPros
shuttle.
mounted. It was like a pod, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like a capsule.
Because I'd be interested to see, like, their Botox. How did their,
They looked all right. Their hair was
not explode or something.
Their hair was all over the place.
What are the rules? Yeah, I saw that.
That was really funny. This is Blue Origin's 11th human spaceflight. So they've done more than that, but this is the 11th with humans on board.
Is this the first highly publicized one? I'm not familiar with Blue Origin.
This is maybe the other one. They did another one a little bit ago where William Shatner and a few others went up.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
And so I think Blue Origin's been kind of playing this game to try to steal a little bit of the SpaceX glow. Right on, go for it. More competition, I suppose. But I was just curious what you out there would be willing to pay. Realistically, would you pay for 10 minutes, $10,000? $1,000 a minute? Or does it have to be under $1,000 before you're like, imagine 100 years from now where this is just like part of a amusement park ride.
Right.
It's like maybe a $50 ticket and you get blasted up, you hang for a few minutes and you fall back down. And it's just an amusement park ride at Disneyland or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it could go one day. You never know. So boost in, tell me or call in and tell me how much you would actually be willing to spend. A lot or a little, I don't care. I just want to know.
Call the launch. We're standing by. 774-462-5667. That's the line. 774.
We did get some voicemails, Andrews.
Woohoo!
We did. And in fact, I think we got 5 in total because we got one last one right as I was getting on the air. And our first voicemail comes from a repeat caller, as we like. We love our repeat callers, and it's a guy named Ryan.
Hey, launch crew. This is a guy named Ryan. Long time, fourth time, I think. Anyway, I think the question was about musical instruments. I played saxophone all through middle school, alto saxophone, and then baritone saxophone in high school. I've got my 12-year-old playing a French horn. For about the last year and a half. Sounds amazing. I have no idea how a brass instrument works. And then my youngest started taking lessons for the ukulele. It's a nice little rainbow ukulele that he plays. He's 9 and 3 months in, just killing it. And it's just awesome to see them learn and grow and develop a talent that I never had. Wild experience. Anyway, thanks for the great topic. Thanks for the great show, and talk to you later. Bye.
He makes a great point there. It's like, yeah, I don't have the musical talent, so it is a lot of fun to watch the kids.
It is.
Do that.
Yeah, Abby is a natural at anything she touches. She's learning guitar and piano right now.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see how Bella enjoys her process of learning. She really decides to commit to something. She goes all in. She's just fearless.
Yeah. No, she is, and she's very good. At her first trumpet lesson last week, he identified 2 things. One, he suggested that it seemed like her experience level was that she started at the beginning of the year, when she had only started.
Just started, yeah.
Like 5 or 6 weeks prior.
Right.
And the second thing is that she got your bigger lower lip. And so I had to buy a new mouthpiece for her.
Right.
And it's a lot easier
good.
for her.
Good,
so
good.
that was really cool. It really does help to have like somebody that knows something about the instrument, relay some of this information. I think it's going to be well worth it for her.
Jeff, also PJ, called in and talked a little bit about music.
Hey, y'all. Jeff here. Okay, music. Drums. Great. Heavy metal, of course. Some rock and roll. Started on good old Led Zeppelin 70s and 80s stuff. Yeah, and drumming a long time and absolutely love it. That's my music thing. Also found it interesting, your rat wars. I've had pet rats. Yeah, they actually make pretty cool pets. They're extremely intelligent, obviously, and quite trainable. Trained mine to do a couple tricks and come to me. I'd, use treats to encourage them here and there, but got to the point where I didn't even have to. I could just set one down, run away, and chase me around the house. I was a kid, but yeah, they make good pets, believe it or not. And they're cute as hell. So they're not always bad, but they can be destructive, of course. So I got a question for you. What was your first car, both of you, and what did you learn to drive in? I was in a couple of vehicles, some older trucks, and a little tiny Honda Civic, one of my neighbors with a manual. So I learned my clutch on that aside from motorcycles. That's my car. What's yours?
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is exciting. Thank you for providing a question in return. Go ahead, Chris. Talk about what you learned.
My first car was a Buick Skylark. I think it was like an 83 or something like that.
It was old.
Grandma had passed away, or great-grandma had passed away, and that was her car. I don't think it had a ton of miles on it. It had one of those all super red kind of micro plush interiors. Power steering pump leaked. The oil leaked. I think the transmission might have leaked. It was, probably an ideal beginner car for a kid my age because it was low value and low consequences.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of stupid things in that car. And
so did I.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm only referring to when I accidentally put it in reverse while we were going 50.
While we were doing 50 down the highway. Bonk. Dead. And then it actually kept working.
Yeah, I don't even know
how that's possible. It must have had some
safety
sort of
mechanism.
It had to have.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first car?
Oh, of course I do. A Hyundai Excel.
Yeah.
It was a hatchback. It was gray. It was so cute. In fact, at karaoke night last week, I sang Tonight and the Rest of My Life by Nina Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
And I crashed my car to that song, which wasn't that hard. So this car that I'm talking about, my first car, I crashed it about 8 days after getting my license.
Crashed it real good.
Real good. And that song, I had my Discman with aux speakers hooked up to it, and I had that song on repeat. So the chance of me crashing it to that song was really high. Anyway, I gave that brief story right before I sang the song, and I did okay with that. But so more importantly, what did you learn to drive on?
I think it was mostly that car because...
No.
No? What?
Frankie's Neon.
Oh, that's true. But I did know how to drive by them, but that was my first manual.
Oh, right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy had an old Dodge Neon manual, and I had it for a couple of months or something. I don't remember. And thankfully, it was a car that wasn't mine because I did not know how to drive a stick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it takes a minute to learn. At least it did for me.
Yep.
It's a lot of in that car.
Yep. I learned on my car.
Yeah.
Like I never drove my parents' car, but I did get super confused about letting off the clutch to make the car go.
Yeah.
Like I could not get it to go forward. And so we did the Chinese dance or whatever. Like my mom got out and got in the driver's seat, and then I sat in the passenger seat, and it went just fine. And so then we switched back, and I was like, oh, do I need to let off the clutch? So
she probably should have given you that tip. She probably should have.
No, she probably did. It's
a lot.
There's 3 pedals down there.
And you got to time it and
not make it die.
Yeah. And if as a kid you don't even know what it's doing. You just know these pedals are a thing. You don't even know why they're there.
Right.
And I have heard that rats do make good pets. That they're very smart. I don't know if I agree they're cute though.
Okay.
That's where I think I disagree with PJ. But I have heard they do make good pets. I am not in the market for a rat pet though. Kyle left a voicemail. I think it's Kyle. You'd listen and tell me what you think.
Okay.
Hey, Chris and Angela. This is Kiowa Joe from Lansing. I'm not on the live stream often, maybe 6 times in the last 8 years. But I wanted to call in and tell you that I have my own battle bus, kind of like Brett, but it's a bit newer. It's set up to be reconfigured to cargo, sleeping, or personnel transport as needed. I've been driving 12 to 15-hour trips for the last 30 years for vacations. My most crazy one was my brother and adult sons did a 36-hour trip to Carson City from Michigan.
Whoa.
I always plan for 20 minutes every 2 hours, and it seems to work out good. I'm looking forward to finally meeting everybody at Linux Fest Northwest this year.
Woo!
Look for me in my Hunter Orange nerd cap. Talk to you later. I'm always interested in a call back live if I can actually answer.
All right, Kyle, we'll add you. Well, I think it was Kyle. Let me know what it was. I'll add you to the list. Chris called in too and also said he'd be willing for some live calls. So I'm making a list, checking it twice. That sounds like a pretty sweet rig. Some serious road tripping. And I'm stoked about Linux Fest Northwest. Our next voicemail came from a very special caller, our very own Editor Drew.
Ooh.
Hey guys, it's Editor Drew. So my instruments in high school, I actually played the flute for a little bit, was not very good at it. Played guitar, played some bass, wasn't particularly good at those, played harmonica, again, not really very good. So all of those kind of fell off. And these days, I mostly play keys, synthesizers, samplers, and drum machines. Yeah, that's about it. And then quick tip for Angela.
Ooh.
After, spending 10 years of my life traveling up and down the East Coast for work, the number one thing that I have to say is baby powder. You know what it's for.
Oh, my
right,
goodness.
Thanks, guys. Love you. Miss you. Bye.
That's so funny. That is a good tip.
That is good, though.
Yeah, because, it would have probably been hot, sweaty,
leather seats,
clammy.
Yeah. Baby powder is a good tip. I had not, hadn't thought of
do you
that.
have that in like your
I don't.
resource
I
kit
just sweat
or
it
first
out.
aid kit?
There's been summers where I'm climbing a mountain and I got the heat on to take the heat off the engine and I'm just sweating it out like an animal. Great tips. Nice to hear from you, Editor Drew. And our last call came from Magnolia Mayhem this week.
It's crazy. I was going to boost in, and then I remembered that y'all have a call-in line. I was like, well, I need to move a bunch of my stats out of cold storage and then get them into my Fountain wallet and stuff like that, or I could just call in. And anyways, it's Mayhem. So there seems to be a lot of controversy among a lot of the JV listeners. It seems like most people were pro the gaming episode, and myself included. But it seems like some people didn't like it, and I was thinking about it, and it seems like really a gaming episode is more about the audience and stuff, right? So why not make the gaming stuff on the launch and have more Linux-specific stuff on Linux Unplugged? But either way, I kind of feel guilty, right? Because I know I could send in money and put this in a boost, but also I could just call in, and this is a lot more simple, and I'm lazy. So here's my suggestion.
I love how he's driving that home.
Anyways.
Oh, that wasn't over.
We like it either a boost or a call. Either way, it's contributing to the show. So it is funny. We have this joke internally with Unplugged, and that is that whatever we do, 50% of the audience won't like it.
Yeah.
It means 50% of the audience does like it too. And so we haven't done a video gaming related episode. I said 2 years in the show, but it's probably been longer than that. Maybe even be 3 or 4 or 5 years. Because if you think about it, a lot of people who've adopted Linux, this is starting to change for sure, but a lot of people that adopted Linux have kind of made peace with not gaming on their computer. The early Linux adopters. So you can understand why people that are really into Linux podcasts, maybe they're not too interested in gaming. But at the same time, there's been a lot of technological innovations that have brought a whole new class of games and a whole new way of playing games to Linux, which is kind of our wheelhouse. So we did an episode. We picked a really well-known game so that way people could try to visualize as they listen and whatnot. But not everybody liked it. And I think that's not a bad idea to, the launch one day could do like a gaming episode of some type. and the stakes probably wouldn't be as at least controversial.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there's so much accessibility now. I wonder if we couldn't get like a narration of the screen or something. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to call us, the lines are open. We'll take a live call during the show, or you can leave us a voicemail, of course, whichever is your style. That is 774-462-5667. The lines are open right now. Now, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we're going to play a Value for Value track. It's a fresh track by Patrick Mannion, and it is Don't Be Shy.
Have you found her? Found her? The one you love. Have you found her? Have you shown her everything you truly love is moving backward? Are we wasting half of it? Pretending that we've got the time. Lovers are just passing by. Let your love out, don't be shy. Have you found it? The source of life, of love. Have you found it? Where'd it come from? Where's it going? Love is moving backward. We think we've got so much of it. That's when inspiration strikes. This moment does not come twice. Take your chances, don't be shy. Love is all, love is you. Love is all, love is you. Love is where we're going to. Love's a journey, love's our home. Love is everything we know. Let your love out, don't be shy. 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 Yes, it always, sometime, this love transforms. It's alright. Love is love regardless of its fun. Your friends, love your boss. Love your lover, love your loss. Love your plans, love some frogs. Walking on the sidewalk. Let your love out, don't be shy.
There you go. Link in the show notes. And if you boost during the song, 95% of your sats go to the track artist and anybody else they put in their mix. So if they have like somebody that helped them with the track and they want to send a little sats their way, whoever they put in there also
Now,
gets a
question.
Mhm.
That is not limited to boosting during the live stream
No.
during that song. It is also on the,
release. Mhm.
released version.
You bet.
That is so cool.
Isn't it? I think so. And it's pretty neat because we often hear from the artists that say, thank you for featuring my song.
Yeah, I made it to number 1.
So there you go. If you want to boost in, you could just, if you still want to do it, you can just hit rewind in your podcast player. And as long as the album art's up on the screen, you boost during that, they get the sats.
4 boosts to go.
Now, I got a note here saying that we still have a listener who's waiting for his lunch. While he apparently is waiting, we're going to get into some boost, Andrews.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Pin came in with 5,000 sats.
You're so boost.
This is Happy Tuesday. It's been a while since I caught a live stream. We love it when you listen live.
Yep, welcome to the live stream. Hopefully you're here today.
Yeah, hopefully. Mr. West Payne comes in with a row of ducks. He says, a row of ducks for Angela saying detritus.
Nice.
Yeah, I did like the detritus.
That's so funny.
I did notice that.
Thank you.
I did. Thank you, Wes. PJ's here with 5,000 sats.
Oh my God, this drawer is filled with Fruit Loops.
He says, here's a gosh darn boost. How about that? He called and he boosted. Oh, you know what? He's a pretty good guy.
He's a good guy. He's a real good guy. No, he's a great guy.
Odyssey Westra comes in with 2,722 sats. He says, I used to play the trumpet when I was in school. I still even have the old trumpet in my closet, just collecting dust. Needs polishing work, but every once in a while, I play it. Honestly, I got more value out of the music theory because it helps me understand the basic principles of things a little easier. I wish your daughters good luck.
Nice.
Well, thank you, Odyssey. I hope we're going to see it.
Yes, right? I was just going to say, I hope we do.
I know it can be a bit of a drive sometimes.
Yeah, but he's Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting that understanding music theory helped him understand other things. Now that piques my interest.
yeah, well, this is why, music is life.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been trying to get, why I've been trying to get the kids to do music, because it is just so integral.
Yeah, I could see how it keeps your brain flexible, too. Outdoor Geeks here with 5,000 sats.
Smoke if you got 'em.
Shout out to the choir folks. Singing in a group gives my problem-solving neurons a break. Interesting.
That is really interesting.
I wonder if that'd be his burnout tip.
Yeah, I don't like that the kids have to choose band or choir. I'm sure there's some fringe exceptions to that, but they have to choose one or the other. And singing is, especially if you have a voice, well, anybody can probably be trained. But anyway, if you have it and you enjoy it, then you should be able to do it.
Yeah, that is silly. Thank you, Outdoor Geek. High Five Connoisseurs here with 5,432 sats.
There's coffee in that nebula.
Love the show, and I love the idea of the phone calls. Well, thank you. Thank you, High Five Connoisseur.
You make me want to be a better man.
Appreciate that. Turd Ferguson's back with 10,222 sats.
Turd Ferguson.
No musical talent, just a 1-month song addiction cycle. Rinse, repeat, annoy friends. He's like
so
you,
funny.
where you'll just listen to a song over and over again.
I mean, it's not 1 month. It's like a year, but okay, sure.
Yeah, or 20. Depends
Actually,
on the song.
you know what I have now, which is really helpful and
What?
should probably be a future show topic. I have a smart playlist that just accumulates any songs that I've purchased this year.
Yeah.
And so then I will randomly ask the kids, what year do you want to listen to? And so they have favorite years, not of when songs released though, right? It's when I purchased them. So when they heard them the most. And it's just really interesting. So
That is interesting. It's funny how you also, you hear a song, it takes you right back to a moment.
absolutely.
It's one of the powers. Thank you for the booster. Toaster comes in with 19,011 sats.
Boy, they are doing a lot with mayo these days.
Chris, ditch the rain. Park the rig in Arizona sunshine. Free long-term parking for RVs down here. Let me know if you need any tips. Yeah, okay. I'll just come. Okay, Toaster. I'll be right there. You got a spot I can park? Maybe I can steal some internet and some power?
And a house for
for some kids and their mom. And maybe, if I'm going to move, then my mom's going to want to move. And I
Yeah.
better bring her too. So thanks, Toaster.
Quick question on that clip that you played right before that. Did it say there's so many uses for mayo?
Yeah, they're doing a lot with mayo.
So-
Boy, they are doing a lot with mayo
It
these
occurred to
days.
me, and this is probably a simple Google, but are people that are allergic to eggs also allergic to mayo?
They must be, I guess, huh? What a shame to
Is
be
the primary allergen in eggs the yolk or the white?
Yeah, good question. What a shame to be allergic to eggs.
Right?
They're in so much stuff.
I know. I love it. Well, I mean,
and I love eggs.
Okay, so I'm getting older and eggs don't
Yeah,
work
yeah.
well with my body, but I still love them and I still eat them. So
Thank you, Toaster. I tease. Enjoy your sunshine. Jay Moon's here with a row of ducks. I myself am musically challenged, but I could tell the difference between the violin and fiddle in your Rat song. We played for
nice.
we played that for the members. I like that Rat song, the Rat King song. He says, a violin is the instrument with strings, while a fiddle has strings.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Thanks, Jay Moon. And thank you, everybody who streamed sats. We had 9 of you do that. You sat streamers collectively stacked us 11,255 sats for this episode. So thank you very much. When you combine that with those of you who boosted, episode 18 of the launch stacked 68,184 and 86 sats. Not going to blow you away. Our goal is to make this show sustainable by June. So tell a friend, or give us a call, or send us a boost. Some way to help grow and spread the show so we can be around for the long hauls. And if you want to boost in, the easiest way to do it is fountain.fm. Grab some sats directly in Fountain or with Strike. Put in a message and boost in. Above 2,000, and we'll read it on the air. Thank you, everybody who supports the show. And of course, our Jupiter Party members get a special premium bootleg, if that can be such a thing, of the show with extra content. We're always doing something a little extra for our Jupiter Party members, and we really appreciate you. This next story is so wild. I love it. Over the weekend, crosswalk systems in Palo Alto and a few other places in California were hacked to play deepfake-style voice recordings that impersonated Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. So instead of the standard walk now kind of alerts you get when you press the crosswalk button, you instead got the Zuck or Elon. And I got some samples so you can hear. So
my goodness.
This is if you're standing at the crosswalk, you press the button to cross, and this is what you hear.
Wait. Hi, this is Mark Zuckerberg, but real ones call me the Zuck. You know, it's normal to feel uncomfortable or even violated as we forcefully insert AI into every facet of your conscious experience. And I just want to assure you, you don't need to worry because there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop it. Anyway.
Okay, so initially I was like, oh, this makes sense because our GPS navigations could, have different voices and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I did not expect a dissertation. I thought it was just going to be him saying,
no,
walk.
Yeah, no, it's them making them say creepy stuff. Here's the one. Here's when you press the button and you get Elon. Here's what Elon says.
Okay.
Wait. Hi, this is Elon Musk. Welcome to Palo Alto, the home of Tesla engineering. You know, they say money can't buy happiness, and yeah, okay. I guess that's true. God knows I've tried. But it can buy a Cybertruck, and that's pretty sick, right? Right?
Right?
Fuck, I'm so alone.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So 12 intersections in Palo Alto area were compromised. They somehow tampered with the devices.
This is so funny.
It is, isn't it?
And it wasn't even for April Fools. That would have been better, but wow.
No suspects. The hackers managed to get in and get out clean. So it's unknown even how the breach fully happened at the point of recording right now. I just want to see this be a thing.
Yeah.
I want to see it be a thing everywhere. Like if I'm ever in a city and I hit that, I'm going to feel like I hit the jackpot. And of course I'm pulling out the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm recording that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if I'm ever crossing the street. I'm just going to sit there and keep pressing the button. It's just hilarious. We'll have a link to the story in the show notes. Okay, I've got another investment opportunity here, Andrews.
All right, I've got my checkbook out.
All right, so this is in Pennsylvania, and it's on Zillow. It's a prime investment opportunity within minutes of downtown.
Sweet.
You need to bring your own vision and toolbox to this detached home on 0.15 acres. As you step in, it's kind of
it's small.
Yeah, it's kind of tight.
I do have tools.
But it is very nicely located. I will say, I looked on the map.
All right.
Now, as you step inside, you'll find a cozy den leading to the dining area and kitchen. The upstairs features 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, with a walk-up attic that could be reimagined. It's also close to major intersections and routes. It is in need of some
click on it.
Some repairs. Yeah, you might want to look through the pictures. Be forewarned, it is being sold as is, and you don't want to miss out.
Zillow is making me press and hold in order to prove I'm not a
that's,
bot.
Yeah.
So
what I love about this, so it's $189,000.
Oh my gosh, it's super cute.
Yeah, the front looks great. The first couple of pictures, not bad.
Okay.
Then you start scrolling down. When you get to their den, you start realizing like this purple carpet, like something's not right. Then you notice like there's something wrong with the ceiling. And then when you scroll down and you see the basement, it's like it's been ransacked by savages and rats. The ceiling's been ripped out. The
Yeah.
insulation is hanging down. Yeah,
I
and then-
just got to it.
Yeah, and then the attic space, same deal.
Oh my gosh, they hung sheets
They hung
to
sheets
block
and bedding.
the fiberglass from
Yeah.
falling. Oh!
And now it's starting to fall down and deteriorate, and it looks
Oh my gosh.
like a gang of angry hobos had their own version of Fight Club in there and then tried to make it a bedroom. I mean, you would be ripping out the ceilings.
Everything.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's a demolish.
The kitchen is from
Did you see
1974.
Did you see the like false ceiling in the kitchen there?
Yeah.
Or it's like a shelf.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's crazy what you got to be willing to do to get a house under $200,000 in this area. When I see this, I think everything about this screams what I hate about real estate agents. So they stage it with it's not a great picture because there's like barrels out front and stuff, but it's got a porch and it's kind of cute. It's kind of nice looking.
Yeah, it has a country feel to it.
Yeah.
Brick and
Yeah. And they describe it as a prime investment opportunity.
yeah.
More like a black mold infection
like,
waiting to happen.
get all of the infections.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know if you mentioned it because I might have been like blown away by the pictures. But it's 1,700 square feet.
Yeah.
3-bedroom, 1 bath, 1,700 square feet.
Yeah. It's
Built in 1900.
I mean,
so it's been around.
It's an investment. It's
5 days. It's been on there for 5 days.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm watching
right.
for you. I'm definitely watching.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these opportunities. I'll share it in the chat room for people that are watching
I
live,
think
and we'll
it's
put a link in the
safer-
show notes.
I think it might be safer to live in that little red barn shed that they have in the backyard.
Yeah, no kidding. It does have natural gas, so that's good. It's just so funny how they can try to
From
make
the
some
dead corpses or what?
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. It's funny how they can make this sound nice.
Yeah,
Also, they want cash for it.
of course. Yeah, no touchbacks.
No, yeah, it's all yours, man. Here's the keys, and they just like walk away. They just step away. It is near the water, a river. I mean, it's got a good location. It would almost be worth just buying the property and tearing the place down and buying another small house on the same land.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that, I just couldn't believe it. So there you go. We'll have the investment opportunity of a lifetime linked in the show notes. Links are at weeklylaunch.rocks. We have a lot coming up, including Linux Fest and all of that. And of course, we'll be always giving you the behind the scenes. I don't know. What do you call the behind the, it's not scuttlebutt. The behind the scenes look at what's going on with these types of things. It's something you can always count on from the launch. And we would love to have you join us live next Tuesday. You can catch it in your podcast app of choice if you've got a Podcasting 2.0 app, because we stream in the app using the lit tag. You can also go to jblive.fm, our Mumble Room, whatever you like. It's your choice, really. It's kind of like, a buffet of content. Just do it on a Tuesday if you want to catch us live, or download us on a Wednesday, and then you get everything. Well, everything's at weeklylaunch.rocks. And you'll find our chat room there, too. From the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty American West Coast, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.